Hello and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. This is Chris, the gaming casual, and we are continuing our run through the water temple. I forget the proper term for it in this game, but I just call it the water temple. This is Majora's Mask, so you can figure out the name of the water temple on your own if you have the time. This is post-commentary yet again. Last we left off, we kind of just got in here, got the boss key, got the ice arrows. Not necessarily all in that order, but you're just going to go back into this turbine room. The dizzying water, if you get caught in the current, can make you sick, so be careful about that. Especially if you get dizzy really easily. Just gonna freeze that water so you can climb up this ladder. Weren't able to do that previously. And in this room there is one stray fairy that we are going to grab. And it is kind of in a hidden spot, especially if you've never played this game before. Using the ice arrows, you make yourself a bridge. And like I said in the previous episode, in the remake, you couldn't even do the ice arrows wherever you wanted. There was only specific spots you could make the ice platforms. And so I feel like they really nerfed the ice arrows in that game. Didn't make it unplayable, it just made it, for that purpose, bad. So there's a hole in the ceiling here that you're going to want to get to so you can hookshot your way up. You need to make sure when you use the ice arrows to hit in a solid spot of water, not one that's like really close to the wall like I just did, because otherwise the arrow will just hit the wall first and it won't ever actually register that you hit the water. And inside this chest, there is a stray fairy, number 9. So we were making pretty good time on those fairies. We're not having to backtrack a lot in this dungeon, which is nice. I tried to make an ice platform just for safety's sake, but I realized I was too close to the wall, so I just jumped for it. Luckily, I was able to hit it on my first jump. Didn't have to swim back to solid land just to make another ice bridge. Once you turn on this valve, you're gonna go straight back to the entrance of this dungeon in that big room with the spinning turbine where we initially came in at. Not this one, but the one after that. Fell into this water. I hate going in here. I didn't really fall, but I jumped down. I was trying to jump onto the turbine wheel there. You're gonna go back into this one here. Now don't jump down. You're gonna get out your hook shot. Look to your right here and up. And there's gonna be another hook shot latch point there. Hook onto that and drop down on this water spout. Take your time because it is annoying to if you fall and have to come all the way back up that way. It's kind of a slow process, so I try to be precise and not quick. Push this thing on. It's going to turn on the other side and it will stop this big turbine. I don't know if you can get up there with the current just off. I think that'd be kind of cool. Then you wouldn't have to deal with the current, but you need to turn this off as well. That way the little platforms will move again. That's one of the reasons why you can't really get up there with the both on, because the turbines stop moving and these little platforms don't move either. Be careful of the spiders again. As you can see, I've pretty much mapped out their whereabouts, so I know where they're going to come down at. Get out the Zora mask. Surprisingly, you don't have to make too much equipment changes in this dungeon. Not like in Ocarina of Time. I feel like I was constantly going in and out of my inventory to change into my boots, out of my boots, into my boots, out of my boots, get my hook shot, get my arrows, get my ocarina out, get my boots again. It was a mess. In this room, there are 2 stray fairies. And they're not in those barrels. Although I did break them open to get some magic. Just gonna get onto this platform. I like to jump from this platform onto the other one there. Just like so. And inside there is a little alcove there, a hidden room. Try to hook onto that. Either you can hook onto either the chest if your hook shot hits it, if you're able to hit it, or onto the. Watching me miss 100 times is hilarious. Or you can latch yourself onto the torch. I'm not very good at that moving platform. Just when I'm able to, like, you know, kind of get a lock on it, it moves. These fish bite you, so that's annoying, but this one just takes a little bit of a bite and runs away. I guess I wasn't very tasty. I don't even know if they have taste buds, but... Now with these ISO arrows, you can freeze that spout. It's going to stop the turbine from spinning. And you're going to climb down there. I tried to get around this propeller blade. Wasn't able to. So you kind of have to go down onto that. And there's another chest in there that you get the 11th fairy from. Yep. And that's it for this room. Don't fall down. Take your time getting across. It is very annoying having to come back up and get your fire arrows out. Melt the thing you just froze. Then refreeze it. I guess that if you were to make a lot of errors in your run of this dungeon, it could be kind of frustrating getting it in and out of your inventory. I might be making it look easier than it is because I practiced this dungeon a couple times before I recorded myself running through it. Which I feel like is a good idea. I don't want to make too many errors on the recording. And once I get a good run that I feel is good, I do the post commentary on it. Gonna melt the frozen one so that it raises you. Melt that one as well, and it will raise you a second time. And be careful jumping across. I barely had enough speed. Probably would have been better to get my bunny hood out, but just take a grab at that, and you're gonna push it. And I think I remember I said in a previous episode that you can't climb in the Zora Link mask. Well, I found out that was wrong. You can climb in Zora Link mask, but not in the Goron mask. So, I don't know why that is the case. But I guess it's probably to keep you out of areas you're not supposed to be. I guess they figured once you're in Zora Link, you should be able to climb over stuff. because Zora Link is taller than Goron Link, I believe. We get in that chest the 13th stray fairy for this dungeon, and we only have 2 more left if you're keeping count at home. And make sure you're lined up before you jump. And jump across that. Now we just have to make our way back to, I don't even think we went into it yet, the boss door room where the boss key is used. It's going to be all the way down here. It's easier to go with the current. Don't try to go against it. I don't even think you could make it if you did it that way. And there's just stray fairy over here. I went the long way. Probably could have cut across, but use your little boomerang thingies. Fins. The boom-a-fins. There's another one above you here. You can try to hit them with that thing. I tried. I wasn't able to do it, so I figured I'd just use my bow to get it. Might as well. Once you hit the surface, I just put on my fairy mask that calls the thing to come to Papa. And once it comes to Papa, you can make your way back to the, well, not back to, but up here. Now that all the fairies have been gotten, you don't have to worry about them anymore. And we can continue on to the boss. Once we get this lever, or this valve opened up, this releases the water so that you can jump across. Pretty straightforward. You know, you're trying to get the water from, the water pressure from where it was to over here so that you get that spot to jump onto. Not too much backtracking. And you can be pretty efficient with it. Like I feel like even if you know what you're doing in the Water Temple in Ocarina of Time, you still kind of have to go in and out of your inventory a couple times just to get your boots on and off. So there's a sea monster in here, right? Doesn't seem like a pretty big room for a sea monster to stay, but there she blows. Georg, a gargantuan masked fish. And it's easy to kill. You just use your bow and get your bunny hood on. You can see the little bubbles in the water. That's the air bubbles from the fish. So hopefully you can use that to spot where he is. Wherever you may be. Because it is kind of hard to see him when you're on this platform. So knowing that those bubbles is him helps you spot where he's going to be. Because if you let him run around too much, he will get some momentum and bump into the platform there, and he will bump you off. He spits out some of his spawn out of his mouth. I call him he, but probably, I don't know. It's a fish. Who cares? Animals do weird shit. Okay. I was able to use my bubble tracking to find him. I think you can just run into his face with your power on and kill him that way. I think it's his face that is vulnerable, not necessarily the arrows. And I'm surprised you don't have to use the ice arrows to beat this guy. I feel like in Ocarina of Time, a lot of the when you got an item in the level, you had to use that item to defeat the boss in some way. And this one, it's not so much true, except for in maybe the last temple of this game. So 4 good hits. All I was doing was running into it with my, I don't know, the force field around me. Using my bit of magic. And there are magic jars in the water if you need extra magic. Don't forget to grab the heart piece. I remember in the AVGN episode, he grabbed the mask first and got mad that he had to go back and get the heart piece. And it's like, in any Zelda game, if you go into at least in Ocarina of Time, if you go into that little shiny thing, you don't come back. And we saved the third and not the third and final, but the third giant. Hey, listen, we want to lend you us our power. Yeah, she's just telling them that there's terrible stuff going to happen and that we need them to save us. Help our friend. I guess. I'll help your friend, mister. Probably in the next episode, I'll do regular commentary. For this dungeon, is a lot. Not only have I had trouble finding time to do it when my family is asleep, because I have to do the live commentary when they're sleeping. But it's just easier for me to concentrate through that dungeon. And there was a lot of stuff where if I was talking and trying to run through it, I could have fallen and made that dungeon take a lot longer. I accidentally talked to this thing. In the Switch version, you have save states, so you don't really need to use the owl statues. Which is what I use. I use the save state feature, or suspend point. I don't see the reason why I should use the owl statue. I mean, I never really even used it as a kid. I just kind of played. Back then, I kind of had one shot to play, so I just play, and every time my turn was over from playing, since I only had like an hour or so to play, unless I was in the middle of a dungeon or something, I would just use the Song of Time to go back in time and save it that way. So I was always using the Song of Time to save my game. I messed up the jump there. Tried to jump and then I did a shitty roll and ended up missing the jump. And I was in a bit of a hurry because I was like, well, I have 20 minutes. Maybe I can make my way back this way to get the fairy who's turned in. So I don't have to do that in the next episode. Fucking crows, man. They always come out of nowhere. Even though I hear them, they're just annoying. Be very careful not to mess up the jumps here. At least I don't know if there's a better way to get up here, but I wasn't sure if I had to blow up the other one, so I just I can go through. I wasn't sure if there was going to be like an invisible wall or something stupid. And you give your stray fairies back so you can put pointy boobs together again. And she gives you, I think it makes you so you're a little bit more sturdier. Your health doesn't deplete as quickly when you get hit. She lends you, we can find out what she gives you. I'm getting drunk. That's what it looks like. She's just getting drunk. Thanks, lady. Yeah, defense has been strengthened. Yeah. Just gives you more defense, so it makes this game a lot easier than it already kind of was. And thanks for watching.